and different ways that they can strengthen their movement. We'll talk about it later, but they can do it by site defacement, site redirects, denial of service, information theft, and they can also do it by virtual sit-ins. They have the ability to do it like by themselves. They can do it independently, or the great thing about the internet is that they can do it with as many people as need be. So they can, like I just said, it can be anonymous. They can make it trans and multinational. They can take advantage of many to many and one-to-many communications. So political hackers are usually guys for the most part. They're pretty young, not teenagers, but they're definitely in their 20s. Like I said, they work alone or in small groups, sometimes called gangs or crews. It's done entirely with activists who come from hacker backgrounds, who spend a lot of time acquiring the different skills needed to learn how to hack. So how can you get these skills? There's hacker conventions. This website right here, Hack This Site, is a free site for legal training ground for basically like tests and just different skills. There's blogs. There's also for virtual sit-ins. We'll explain those later, but there's actually a software created for virtual sit-ins, so it could automatically like refresh the website you're trying to hack into. So it makes it slower, or it can even just completely crash the website entirely. Different societies help train people, so there's a lot of different ways that you can do that. So the manifesto for hacktivists is a nonviolent use of illegal or legally ambiguous digital tools in pursuit of political ends. Like I said before, site defacements, redirects, denial of service, information theft, and website parodies. They do it for reasons of principle, and they stop short before cyber terrorism, and they do it out of respect for human welfare. So it's a combination of going from civil disobedience into the digital playing field, so they don't have to have the physical problems. They have a desire, belief in making a difference. So they really believe it's their job to educate people on ways that they can hack activists and activate people. Let's see. All right, so I guess just some events. The Hong Kong ones. Let's see. There's a group of activists called the Cult of the Dead Cow, and what they did was because China is trying to censor the internet, they wanted to tell people that like they were able to hack into the government, and it actually never happened. But there are a few news stories printed that the dead cow cult was able to like hack in, and they weren't. So it was kind of their way of saying like, hey, like we have the means to do this, but like it didn't actually happen. And then the other one was the Batista virtual sit-in. Was just basically to end the war in Mexico, just trying to use the form of electronic civil disobedience.
So I'm going to be going over some of the basic forms of hacktivism. We've already talked a little bit about defacing web pages. It's pretty self-explanatory. You're just basically significantly altering the appearance of pages on the website. A lot of times, websites will be defaced with whatever political message the hacktivists are advocating. Web sit-ins, which we've already sort of talked about. During a virtual sit-in, you'll basically just have hundreds or thousands of, however many people simultaneously visiting a site and doing very repetitive actions to slow down the website or collapse it entirely. Most of the time, it's essentially most virtual sit-ins are essentially denial of service attacks. We also have email bombs, which is also a form of denial of service attack, where you send huge volumes of emails to an email address in an attempt to overflow the server and shut down the server. We also have code or websites. Basically, with websites, we've seen examples like WikiLeaks, and then we have the virus Stuxnet, which was used to target Iran's uranium enrichment facility. Another example of hacktivism is website mirroring, which will be used to access, basically copy an entire website and is used to access websites that are blocked in certain parts of the world. Geobombing, which is actually a relatively new technique, is a person will add a geotag to a YouTube video, which makes it show up on Google Earth. For example, during the Tunisian revolution, many people posted videos of them speaking out against government abuses and tagged videos around the Tunisian palace. And the last thing was just anonymous blogging, which is kind of a very simple form of hacktivism that pretty much anybody can do. This is the group eToy. They are artists, and they got into a little bit of an issue with etoys.com based on the fact that they had the domain name etoy.com, and etoys.com wanted it. They claimed that it was taking away business from them, even though the art group eToy was in business well before etoys.com. So this video that we're about to show basically shows what happened.
We should make no mistake that electronic civil disturbance does impose costs, and sometimes these are quite substantial. In the literature on this, some scholars suggest that the costs of even minor disruptions to electronic commerce run into the billions of dollars. Now, there are many ways to calculate costs, but let's just agree, it's costly to do this. This is why they're engaging in these kinds of virtual sit-ins. It's why civil disobedience has arisen in the 20th century. Because by stopping up the works, you impose costs and force people to pay attention to your point of view.
Those who refuse to listen do so at their peril. For proof, there's the legendary toy war of late 1999, where the campaigner's success was undisputed, but the cause celebrities was something else again.
Money and shares are the objects of our desire, but art is what we would kill for. eToy is a group of surreal business people. We are in the business of playing with corporate giants, with exciting playgrounds on the internet. eToy was always the group that represented like a very commercial image. Some people thought it's irony, others thought we are just jerks who want to make a lot of cash, and it's both true. I mean, we don't make a separation between art and commerce.
The American dot-com retail giant eToys Inc. was one of the bright stars of the new economy. A toy shop with no shops, just a website and a warehouse. There was just one